Hello, this is Photography Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am reviewing eFootball PES 2020 Lite. PES 2020 Lite is a football soccer game developed by PES Productions and published by Konami. PES stands for Pro Evolution Soccer. It's a series that's been going for many years, and every year they release a new installment. The Lite version is free, so it doesn't have all of the content that the full game does, but it still has quite a lot to offer and lots of things to get your teeth into. You can play an exhibition match with around 10 or so official teams, including Barcelona, Juventus, Manchester United and Arsenal, but you only have 3 stadiums to choose from. You can play a quick online match against a friend or some random opponent, which is fun and varied, because you just never know who you're going to be coming up against. The full training mode is included, which is great, so you can practice all the aspects of the gameplay and hone your skills before you get into online matches. You can take free kicks, you can do dribbling practice, shooting drills, passing drills, etc. It's really got a wide range of options, and for PES newbies this is something I'd recommend you play before getting into any kind of match, because if you've never played the game it can be quite hard at first, quite tricky to sort of pick it up. You also have full access to the edit mode. One thing to note about PES is that not every team is officially licensed. So for example, Real Madrid are called something else. They don't have the official kit, they do have the players, but if you want everything to be official for certain teams, you will have to find a patch online. You can easily find them, you can get them from like PES Universe or PES Patch, download that to a USB stick and then you import it via the game menu. It's pretty quick and easy to do, but it can have some continuity issues that clash with the official updates that the game releases periodically. But if you just want to play around with the teams, players, etc., you can do that here and see if that's something you'd want to get into in the main game. Finally, you've got My Club mode, which is pretty similar to the FIFA Ultimate Team. You basically have to build a team from nothing, sign players, get agents, etc., and then play online against other people or the computer. The game does have microtransactions in My Club. If you want to buy more currency to get better players, etc. It's not essential, but if you want to speed up the process, the option is there. Okay, so those are the game modes, but what's the game like to play? PES is more of a simulation than an arcade game. It's very realistic and it's all about strategy and the pattern of play. You know, real football is great, but often most games descend into kind of midfield stalemates. And in PES, you'll find a lot of your matches will end up quite turgid and uneventful. But when you do click into gear and you hit that purple patch of form, the game can produce some of the most sublime and beautiful moments. I wouldn't say PES is a fun game. I've played this franchise for decades and I always enjoy it, but in terms of pure fun, FIFA is probably more accessible, which is why it sells a lot more copies to the masses. Because it's more easy to get into, it's all official, you don't have to do any modding, and it's kind of a bit more of an arcade style than a simulation. PES is more aimed at the hardcore football fan, the purist, someone who appreciates the complexities of real football and wants to build something piece by piece and get the satisfaction from that, rather than the FIFA approach of wham bam thank you ma'am. So the passing in the game is crisp, the shooting can be a little hot and cold, tackling is quite difficult and sometimes it's hard to even get close to some of the better players. You know, the days where you can just go in and clatter someone with a sliding tackle, they're kind of disappearing from real football, and they're kind of doing that in games as well. It's a shame because we all do like to nail Cristiano Ronaldo now and again with a big hit, or Messi, just to even it out so the fanboys don't hate me. The goalkeepers seem a little soft. They parry a lot of the shots back into danger, which can be quite annoying, but on the whole it plays very well. It's smooth, it has a nice flow, it feels better than PES 2019, and I think it's definitely an improvement. Graphically, it's a nice looking game. It's not the best example out there, but it's definitely realistic. The player movements feel good, and the way they move their bodies looks pretty close to real life. The camera angle is a vast improvement in this version. It's much wider and it's more like a telecast, and you can really see what's happening whether you're attacking or defending. It feels like you can actually plan your strategy rather than not knowing what's around the corner. The commentary is poor and has been poor for several years. The commentators sound wooden and come out with rubbish lines all the time. Honestly, you're better off turning it off and just having the crowd noise. And the crowd noise is pretty decent, but it's not as detailed as something like FIFA. It doesn't feel like an intense real life crowd. It's good, but it needs a lot more work. They need to really invest a lot more time into the chants and the atmosphere, because the games don't always feel like there's much happening in terms of from the crowd. Okay, so what's good and what's bad? What's good? The game is free. The game feels smooth and satisfying to play. Presentation on the whole is better than last year. You can use a variety of game modes here, including My Club, which I'd personally recommend. Online matches are very interesting and they're always varied because they could be extremely hard or easy. Overall, it's a realistic sports simulation. What's bad? A lot of matches end up quite dour and midfield stalemates. The commentary is awful again. The crowds need a lot more work. A lot of the teams aren't official, so you're going to have to mod the game, which is a bit annoying, but it's free this time, so you can't massively complain. So what is the verdict? PES 2020 Lite is a great free sports game for solo or multiplayers. The game modes are limited, but if you want the full package, you can just go buy PES 2020. I mean, that's really the whole point for this Lite version existing. They've given us the right amount of content to decide if this is your cup of tea. If you like this, you'll probably end up buying the main game, to be honest. Overall, it's an impressive amount of free content they're giving away. So, if you want a free football game just to play occasionally, you can't go wrong here. So my score for eFootball PES 2020 Lite is 8.5 out of 10. It's a great simulation of the beautiful game. Football fans should definitely check it out, even FIFA fans should, but most of you probably will find it a little bit dull in comparison to the glamour and the glitz of the FIFA franchise. But if you're looking for more realism and more in-depth experience-wise, this is definitely worth getting, and it's free, so why the hell not, right? So that was the review. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Thank you.